feel like it's your responsibility to say, you're not going to be ready? That's question A.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with an update from Blessing Krizo. First of all, I'm gonna say it was kind of unfair for the people and the fans asking him to retire after he did not show up as expected for his comeback show at this past Legion Sports. And let's just assume for 1 second that he doesn't live up to his own expectations that he set for himself when he first came onto the scene, when he himself first decided to pursue bodybuilding professionally. So even if the expectations aren't met, the man still made it to the biggest bodybuilding stage, and the man won 2 pro shows, and you simply cannot ask someone to retire, to give up something that they truly love. So Blessing is back in the gym, pushing some seriously heavy weights, pushing very hard again. But is there a scenario in which we're gonna see Blessing back on the stage anytime soon? Well, not based on Stefan's opinion. So his coach appeared on the latest episode of the Bodybuilding and the Bollocks with Fuad, and he was asked some tough questions. And as per him, they're gonna go for another improvement season.
Just more and longer structured work, and that's also nothing which could be done in 2 or 3 weeks. That's
Okay,
more a 4 or 5 month work.
And I have got to say we should all appreciate Stefan, as the man was really honest here. So it wasn't a matter of missed peak after all, but Blessing Krizo, and of course his coach Stefan, for this past show. It was more of a development thing, especially when it comes to his legs. We know his quads have always been a very big weakness for him, and his quads would have looked a lot more skinnier if he was in fact very peeled, if the man came in 100% ripped. And Stefan also mentioned that this isn't an issue that is going to be fixed in just a few weeks' time. It's gonna take a few months, at the very least, maybe another full year, which can only mean one thing. The Blessing is most probably out of this year's competition season, because in his own response, after the Legion Sports, he said that the question in regards to when he's gonna be back on the stage again, that is gonna depend on the word of his coach.
You feel like it's your responsibility to say, you're not going to be ready? That's question A. Question B is, if you do push forward and do the show like you did, do you ever worry that that hurts your reputation, even though you knew he wasn't going to be ready?
To the first question, yes, we had that discussion. And we both said, okay, we just gonna see where we stand.
Now, if you are being brutally honest here, Blessing's legs, his quads, they are always gonna be a big weakness for him, no matter what he does. The fact is, he already had more than 12 months in that off-season. If I'm not mistaken, it was about 15 months. And there is so much difference in the density of his upper and lower half that it is pretty much clear at this point that it is a genetic thing after all. Now the positive aspect is that he did fill out his adductors, and that was the case in the back shots too. But the thing is, he wasn't in shape. So how do you guys think Blessing's quads would have looked if he brought the condition, especially the same kind of condition that we saw from him back at the Indie Pro and the New York Pro, and that was 2 years back when he won those shows back to back? And can you repeat that same look, maybe sometime in the future? So looking at these one-day-out pictures from Cali Pro champion Regan Rice, it looks like that the man is gonna dominate this upcoming Toronto Pro very hard. I mean, take a look at his front side. That is looking so polished and very full. The legs are also looking very detailed and very separated. And we know the overall aesthetics on this guy, they are simply top-notch. But most importantly, his mindset is very different this time. So he's more motivated than ever before. And maybe he's at a point in his career where he's finally starting to realize about his true potential. The potential that guys like Jay Cutler, Milo Sorsev, Samir Benut, and so many legends of the game, they always talk about in regards to Regan, that if he had the same mindset as Jay Cutler or the mutant Nick Walker, he would have been Mr. Olympia by now. Now, as much as I respect all of these guys, I'm gonna say there is a lot of exaggeration in that statement, especially the way things are looking right now. In regards to that, there is simply no way that Regan can have a shot at that Olympia title. I'm gonna say he's gonna have a hard time even cracking top 6. because he still has some holes to fill in terms of his physique. The quads from the front, they still need more size. His chest needs to be more fuller, especially when he opens up. For that front double biceps, it kind of flattens out. Now, I know, he did made a lot of improvements in terms of his overall physique, but still not up to a level where he can beat any of those top 5 guys. So that back of Regan, that is insane. The hamstrings in particular, they are mind-blowing. I mean, there are only a couple of guys who has those guitar-like hamstrings in the men's open right now. One of them is Nick Walker, and the other one is the former Miss Olympia, Derek Lunsford. Now, I certainly hope that Regan does go out for Dubai Pro 2 and stand next to the likes of Beros Tabani and Nathan Diasha, Rubiel Mosquera, and I do think that his matchup with Beros Tabani, that is going to be a superb one, because both these guys have some great similarities. Now, if everything with Regan's peak, that goes smoothly, then the man is definitely winning the 6th pro show of his career this coming weekend. So this current look of Michael Krizo, almost 3 weeks post-show, that right there is a perfect picture on taking that post-show rebound very seriously. You can just instantly tell that the man has been eating very clean and he has been staying on the plan in that post-show phase. Now Krizo has this great reputation that he stays on a very strict diet, no matter if it's the contest prep or the off-season. So with that announcement that Krizo made, that his next show, that is going to be Prague Pro, which is a show scheduled after the Olympia this year, then it is very clear that at this point, that he is going to slowly transition into the off-season. But his only aim, that is to put on some quality muscle mass. In fact, for Krizo, it is more about getting that mobility back, especially in terms of his shoulders. First of all, so that he can pose better, and second of all, to put more width in his back shots. Because the thing is, he loses so much ground when he turns around for the back double biceps and the back lat spread, despite the fact that he has so much detail and so much separation in both the back shots. Now George Farah, his coach right now, he did an awesome job with him in both the shows that he did, and honestly, he would have qualified for the Olympia this year. 100% he would have if he decided to compete after the New York Pro. But his goal right now, that isn't just to step back on the Olympia stage. He doesn't want to be another name up there. He wants to improve his back, and he wants to improve his posing and presentation, and he wants to move up those Olympia placings. So hopefully Krizo is gonna win this year's Prague Pro, and then he can have a 1 full year for the off-season and just focus on the Olympia next year. So Tonio Burton's recent comments on the possibility of him jumping into this year's Dubai Pro, that is kind of getting us all excited. So the final decision, that hasn't been made just yet, but fingers crossed that Tonio Burton isn't gonna miss an opportunity to have a go at 140 grand in the prize money. And the way the man is looking right now, in every single physique update that he has posted after winning the Legion Sports this year, which by the way, he absolutely dominated and he got his Olympia qualification despite him not being at his all-time best in terms of his condition. That just goes to show us the kind of talent Tonio Burton is, and his condition right now, that just goes to show us that the man isn't letting go of the gas right now, and there is simply no reason for him to pass up on this opportunity to win the biggest paycheck of his career, even though he believes he can be top 6 at this year's Miss Olympia. But he will certainly get more prize money if he wins this year's Dubai Pro, and that is going to be a perfect opportunity for him, because he's gonna have to go up against the likes of Nathan Diasha, Beros Tabani, and Rubiel Mosquera. And Nathan Diasha, many of us thought, could have been as high as top 7, and Beros Tabani is a guy who so many experts out there think that he can be top 6 at the very least. Now this is the kind of lineup where we are truly gonna see how much of that size gap Tonio Burton has closed since last year, because that physique, that literally has zero weaknesses, zero flaws. Even back then, the only thing that was missing, that was more size, more mass. So let's all hope he jumps into this upcoming Dubai Pro and he makes that show a lot more exciting. That right there is a legendary picture posted by Dan Solomon just now, with 3 Olympia winners just about to go into a training session for the Battle of the Olympia video. And that is a type of video that is gonna serve to hype up the Olympia, especially with Derek and Samson, as Derek did beat him at this past Arnold. So the Olympia right now, that kind of seems very open. So when was the last time? We saw 3 Olympia winners training together. Not that I can remember. So this is history in making. And many of the bodybuilding fans, they tend to live in the past and glorify the past era. But we should also give immense respect to all 3 of these guys. These 3 champions of the sport right here. Talk about having some great amount of muscle, as well as some of the best aesthetics out there. All these guys, they make it into that list. Looking forward to this training video, because I for one certainly think that this is gonna be an awesome one. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.